Hi everyone, so glad you could join us today on Hiroshima Peace Memorial Day. My name is Kay. I'm a member of a volunteer group called Hiroshima Interpreters for Peace, HIP HIP. I'll be interviewing one of the Avon survivors, and his name is Kazuhiko Futagawa. I call him Mr. Futagawa. Let's meet him. Hi, Mr. Futagawa.
Hi, nice to meet you. Thank you.
Can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, thank you. So, my name is Kazuhiko Futagawa. I was born April 1st, 1946, after the 8 months after the bombing. I'm one of the youngest Avon survivors, or as we say in Japanese, hibakusha. And in my case, as an in-utero hibakusha, there are about 7,000 in-utero hibakusha like me this year. So I'm explaining more about in-utero hibakusha later.
Okay. Mr. Futagawa, I just want to clarify the term you just used. In-utero hibakusha.
Yeah.
You are known as in-utero hibakusha.
Yes.
So in-utero meaning that the mother's womb.
That's correct.
And in mother's uterus, right?
Yeah.
And you are one of them. There are about 7,000,
Yeah.
just like you.
Yes.
As of this year. Okay, great. And you want to tell us more about the in-utero hibakusha later, yeah? Okay. So first of all, my first question is,
Yeah.
what happened to your family on the day of the bombing?
Okay.
Exactly 75 years ago today.
Yeah, just today,
Yeah.
my father and elder sister died in the atomic bombing on August 6, 1945. But my mother started searching for missing father and sister. We have hypercent from the next day, 7. And nobody would enter the city where everything was wrong.
Are you okay?
Okay.
Yeah, it's so emotional, yeah? And your mother was pregnant, yeah?
Let's see,
Your
I'm
mother
sorry.
was pregnant with you.
So, yes, I was unborn baby in my mother's womb. And I was 8 months after the bombing. The massive amount of radiation from the bombing affected pregnant women and their unborn babies. Someone born with a small head with impaired in brain development. I was so lucky I have no effects from the radiation so far.
I hope so. I hope
Yeah.
you remain okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. So you explained to me exactly what I wanted to know, what is in-utero hibakusha is.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Can you tell us exactly what happened to your father and your sister on that day?
So I didn't know anything about those days as I was grown up because my mother never told me a word about the bomb, my father and elder sister while she was alive. So my story is based on what I heard from my aunt and cousins and the relatives.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. First, I'm going to tell you about my father. Before the bombing, my father worked at post office as a postmaster. His post office located right here in this area.
So where we are standing now?
Yeah, we're not standing now. Just in front of Senator. His post office was located and it was 300 meters from the hyperspace.
It's only the 300 meters from
only
here.
300 meters from the
My goodness.
hyperspace. So on that terrible day, August 6th, my father went to work by train and streetcar as usual. He must have started working when the Avon was dropped. At 8:15 in the morning a.m. He must have been killed by the blouse and heat rays instantly. And he was only 47 years old.
Okay, I want to show you the picture of your
Yeah.
father that you asked me to show.
Yes.
Okay, this one, can you see it? He was only 47 years old. A little closer. Can you see it? Such a handsome man. Only 47.
So my
Thank
father's ashes probably are buried around here. Yeah. Next, let me tell you about my elder sister. She also died atomic bomb on that day. My sister was working about 1 kilometer from the hypocenter.
Wow, it's close to
She
the
was,
hypocenter.
She was only 30 years old, a first student at junior high school. So in those days, almost all adult men had been called up to fight. So school children were forced to work to make up wartime labor shortage. And boys and girls aged between 12 and 17 were required to work. The 12 and 13 years old had to undertake building demolition farm work.
Okay, so what exactly is the building demolition?
Yeah.
What did they do?
So I'll show you some picture. So a drawing. This drawing painted in even survivors.
So boys and girls playing the walls of the houses.
That's right. Drawing out of his memory. So on that terrible day in Hiroshima, 8,400 students were working on building demolition for fire breaks in order to prevent fire from spreading and to make evacuation routes. Nearly 6,300 of the students were killed by the bomb. Perhaps she was one of them.
And I want to show the picture of your sister too that you gave me.
Correct.
She was only 13.
Years,
She was the freshman at the junior high school. Here we go. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
No
Such a
problem.
heartbreaking story. Now, can you tell us about your mother who searched for your father and your sister
Okay.
in the city center for some time?
Okay, sure. On August 6th, the central area was completely destroyed by the bomb. The city was on fire and nobody able to enter the city. The next day, maybe the 7th, my mother rushed to the near the hypocenter where my father, the post office, and my sister's working area was.
So she was here too, your mother.
She was.
She was here.
She desperately searched for them along the river banks, wandering through the city every day, day after day, until the end of August. So, and she was 2 months pregnant with me at that time. And she was 32 years old.
Only 32.
Yes,
Oh my
only 30
goodness.
years old. My mother looked for them until the end of August, but my mother couldn't find them. My father and sister's bodies have never been found.
Okay,
Yes.
have never been found. Okay, thank you. Thank you for your story.
Yeah.
And so, what did your family do in the years after the bombing?
I see. So after the war, my mother started working at my aunt's post office, and she really worked hard, and every day for more than 30 years. And then, let's see, when I was 5 or 6 years old, my mother got sick and went to hospital. She became very sick. She had inflammation of the membrane of the lungs. It was a pleurisy. She was in critical condition for a few days and hovered between life and death. The doctor told my aunt that she would die soon. My mother was talking deliriously, "I can die yet, I can die yet." A few days later, miraculously she got well and recovered. After that, she was fine.
I really think that your mother was so determined to live and take care of five sisters, five
correct.
children
Yeah.
who already lost their father
Yes.
and sister. Yeah? So I think she was a woman with a mission. She was so determined. Yeah?
I think
That's
so.
how she came back to life from life and death situation.
Yes, that's right. So she worked hard, raised five children or five children by herself in the city, where everything was burned to ground by the bomb. But I don't know how she did it.
I don't either. I don't know how she did it either. She was only 30 something and raised five children all by
Yeah,
herself. It is pure amazing
Yeah, yeah.
job she did.
And more about she never complained about anything, and she was always cheerful. And my mother passed away peacefully in 2000.
I have a picture
Yeah,
of your mother.
yeah, sure.
Okay, I want to
She
show you this
was
beautiful
87.
lady,
She
Mrs.
was-
Futagawa. She died at the age of 87. Thank you.
Yeah. Oh, let's see. I'd like to show you something.
Okay.
My older sister found an old small blouse wrapped in a white paper in the drawers of my mother's chest 6 years ago.
Shall I show the picture
Yes,
of your blouse?
sure.
Okay, this is the blouse.
It was a
his
spare.
sister found. Yeah?
Yeah. It was a spare blouse. It was a spare school blouse belonging to my elder sister. My elder sister must have been wearing an identical blouse when the album was dropped. And then it was the only thing left that belonged to my sister. My mother must have been looked at carefully because she didn't have my sister's ashes. When I saw uniform, I was so shocked. I felt pain. But I now understand why my mother didn't tell me anything about Reborn, my father, and the sister. It was because the depth of her sadness was too deep, so couldn't talk about it. I donated this blouse to Hiroshima Peace Memorial Museum.
I think I understand too that she kept this blouse all to herself
Yeah.
for more than 50 years. She didn't say a word about atomic bombing your father and your sister.
Yeah.
Kept all inside.
All right.
Okay, thank you for your moving testimony about your father, the sister, your mother, and your whole family. Before we conclude this interview,
Yeah.
do you have any message to people watching this?
Oh, let's see. I want to say
Okay.
we mustn't let the cruel lessons of airborne and war fade with the passage of time. And the British said, which is well said, if we don't end war, war will end us.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah.
You know what? It says that if we don't end the war,
Yeah,
war will end us. Yeah?
that's correct.
I want to give you one figure that the worldwide total inventory of
Yeah.
nuclear weapons
Yeah.
as of 2019 last year stood at almost 14,000, and of which 3,720 were deployed with operational forces, meaning that they can press the button and just can hit any place on the earth.
Yeah.
Enough to kill all of us, the whole earth. It's such a scary thought. So thank you so much for your
no problem.
testimony. I
Yeah,
truly
okay.
appreciate that.
It's my pleasure. Thank you so much for listening for my family.
Okay, I want to say
Thank
goodbye
you.
to
Bye.
everyone.
Thank you. Everyone,
Thank you.
See you.
Okay, bye-bye.